Welcome to the online public information meeting for improvements along US 61 from just north of 235th Street in Des Moines County to just south of 30th Street in Louisa County. The purpose of this meeting is to present the right-of-way needs to construct the project. The online pre-recorded presentation will provide general information about the project and concludes with information on how to submit questions and comments. The public comment period ends May 10, 2021. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, we have moved to an online format. This allows us to keep the project on schedule while keeping the public informed and allows us to provide details of proposed work and display the properties affected by the project. The online format also allows us to hear public feedback in a number of ways. The public can submit questions and comments online, in writing, or by telephone. Instructions on how to provide comments will be provided at the end of the presentation. We welcome your questions, concerns, and input regarding the project's right-of-way impacts, and thank you for your online participation. This project, also referred to as Section 3, will reconstruct about 5 miles of 2-lane roadway to a 4-lane divided highway with a new grade-separated diamond interchange over the Iowa 78 Louisa County Road H22 intersection. As indicated in the slide, improvements to the US 61 corridor date back to 1996, but due to funding constraints in 2001, the project was dropped from the DOT's 5-year Transportation Improvement Program. The planning study was restarted in 2010, and the DOT Commission added Section 1 of the 18-mile improvements to the 2016-2020 5-year Transportation Improvement Program. The Iowa Transportation Commission approved $2.4 million toward right-of-way for Section 3 in the 2018 to 2022 5-year program, and in the 2020 to 2024 5-year program, $15.5 million were approved for construction. The 2021 to 2025 5-year program commits a combined total of just over $23 million to Section 3. The purpose of the proposed project is to improve traffic operations and economic development by providing route continuity along approximately 18 miles of the existing 2-lane US 61 from the end of the existing 4-lane roadway near Memorial Park Road at Burlington to approximately a half a mile north of the Iowa 78 intersection in Louisa County. Traffic operations and legislation are the primary needs for this project. Since it was constructed in the late 1920s, there have been minimal improvements to US 61 other than general maintenance. The proposed improvements would improve safety, the system continuity of US 61, traffic operations, and increase capacity. In 1988, the Iowa legislature directed the Transportation Commission to identify a network of commercial and industrial highways, known as the Commercial and Industrial Network, or CIN. The purpose of the Commercial and Industrial Network is to enhance opportunities for the development and diversification of the state's economy and to make travel more convenient, safe, and efficient. US 61 is included as part of the CIN. On the left display is shown the project limits of the approximate 18-mile long US 61 corridor improvements to convert the current 2-lane roadway to a 4-lane divided rural expressway. The reconstruction of US 61 from Memorial Park Road in Burlington to just north of Iowa 78 is broken out into 3 sections. This presentation's focus is on Section 3, illustrated closer on the right display. Section 3 begins north of 235th Street to approximately a half mile north of Iowa 78 and includes a grade-separated interchange at Iowa 78/Louisa County Highway 22. This section of the US 61 corridor improvements is about 5 miles in length. Within the project limits, the 2018 annual average daily traffic volume is about 5,100 vehicles per day, with around 13% truck traffic. The project is anticipated to take place during the 2024 construction season. Based on a variety of factors, including findings from field studies, environmental impacts, design considerations, and input from the public and local government agencies help to determine the preferred highway alignment. Right-of-way needs for Section 3 is expected to involve permanent and temporary acquisition from at least 30 separate privately owned parcels. 3 project display scrolls have been prepared to illustrate proposed areas of improvements to US 61 and the project's right-of-way needs. You can view the entire project displays for Section 3 by visiting the Iowa DOT's project-related public involvement event website at www.iowadot.gov/PIM and clicking on US 61 in Des Moines and Louisa County from the list of public involvement events. The next 3 slides provide a snapshot of the project scrolls available online. As indicated in the legend, the scrolls illustrate proposed pavement in yellow, proposed granular surface in orange, proposed permanent and temporary acquisition in teal and tan, and pavement to be removed with hatch marks. The displays also identify parcel boundaries with property owner names. In the top display, you see the south terminus of the project, which connects to the planned construction of the new US 61 4-lane highway just north of the city of Mediapolis. The first approximate mile of the proposed new alignment begins by following closely to the east of the existing alignment. Then, as illustrated in the image below, the new alignment will be relocated away from the existing alignment, in some places upwards of about a quarter mile to the east of the existing highway, prior to tying back into existing US 61 at 30th Street in Louisa County. As shown in the images, the hatch marks south of 250th Street illustrate where existing US 61 pavement will be removed and the existing right-of-way will be utilized for new ditching. Where US 61 pavement would remain, north of 250th Street to near the end of the north project limits, existing US 61 will be utilized to provide access to properties. Traffic traveling northbound on the new US 61 highway will use a left turn lane at the paved crossover to access 240th Street and at the private entrance just south of 250th Street. In addition, northbound traffic will have a left turn lane to cross over to access 250th Street or to continue on Old US 61. Existing US 61 or Old US 61 will provide access to properties located on the west side of the new 4-lane US 61 alignment. This slide displays the continued new alignment relocated just east of existing US 61 with geometry improvements to east of 260th Street. A left and right turn lane at the paved crossover will allow property owners to access 260th Street on the west and east of the new highway. Motorists will also be able to access Old US 61 using the paved crossover. The adjustment to the highway alignment and curve along East 260th Street are designed to either lessen impacts to homes and buildings, avoid cultural and historic sites in the area, bring the highway up to current design standards, and or improve site distances. The display also shows the right-of-way needs on the west and east of this section of the new 4-lane highway. This project will also involve construction of new pipe and box culverts along the project limits. In this picture, you will see a triple 12-foot by 10-foot precast concrete box culvert as shown in red. The new grade-separated diamond interchange over State Highway 78, Louisa County Highway 22, is proposed east of the existing alignment, or approximately 3.5 miles east of Morning Sun. The diamond interchange will have a single diagonal ramp in each quadrant. In red, you see the planned overhead 189-foot by 40-foot pre-tensioned, pre-stressed concrete beam dual bridges. The shift to the east of the interchange, and in general the highway alignment, is a result of efforts to reduce overall impacts to resources and properties by keeping the proposed new lanes as close to and parallel with the existing alignment where possible and implementing a narrower median. Eastbound Iowa 78 traffic will have a right turn lane to access the southbound US 61 on-ramp and a left turn lane onto the northbound on-ramp. Westbound Louisa County Road H22 traffic will have a left turn lane onto southbound US 61 on-ramp. In the image below, you see the north terminus of the project, which ties back into existing US 61 at 30th Street and will connect to the future 4-lane highway improvement from north of 30th Street to north of 130th Street in Louisa County. To mitigate potential project impacts, we designed around environmental areas of interest, and Iowa DOT has committed funding toward wetland, woodland, and stream mitigation. We are in the process of finalizing mitigation. We are also in the process of further developing traffic control details. What we expect is that traffic to all residents, businesses, farmsteads, and field entrances will be maintained on existing US 61 at all times. We anticipate side roads 240th Street, 245th Street, 250th Street, 260th Street, and County Road H22 will have detours during different stages of construction. No two adjacent side roads are to be closed at the same time. When a side road detour is not in place, traffic will be maintained in each direction. This slide shows the project tentative timeline, including right-of-way, letting, and construction anticipated target dates. The Iowa DOT right-of-way acquisition process will begin sometime later summer 2021. And if you have property along the project area that will have right-of-way impacts, an acquisition agent will be contacting you on the matter during that time. Once the project is let, the prime contractor awarded the project will provide a more refined construction schedule and estimated completion date. We encourage you to visit our Right-of-Way Bureau website to learn more about the acquisition process. There you will find helpful brochures and documents. For additional right-of-way information, visit our website shown on the bottom center of the slide, www.iowadot.gov/right-of-way. This concludes our online presentation. You may submit questions or comments by May 10th, 2021 by going online, sending an email or regular postal mail, and by calling the phone numbers listed. Please take time to look at the project display scrolls and provide us feedback on the proposed project improvements and right-of-way impacts on your property. When you open the PDF displays located on the same webpage as this online meeting, you can scroll through each display to view the entire corridor. If you need assistance to review the online materials, please contact us. Thank you for your participation.